possible breaking news with the Delphi murder case. The suspect that was arrested is part of a child ST ring, and additional suspects could be arrested. Come join me at the Murder She Said as we discuss the new information on this case. Or I will tell you why I'm not sure how reliable this information is, but I wanted to bring it to you anyway, and I'm going to explain all that as I go. Anyway, come join us every week for rarely discussed true crime cases and also updates on newer cases. My name is Holly. Murdered Delphi teenagers Liberty German and Abigail Williams were victims of a botched kidnapping plot hatched by members of a local ring. Richard Allen, 50, was charged on 2 counts of murder on October 28. Right after Allen was arrested, one of the neighbors had seen authorities digging in his yard. Well, I think that I've learned why they were digging after all. First, I'm going to tell you where I got this information so we can go from there. Actually, Daily Mail says they have had a reliable source come forward, but whether Daily Mail's telling the truth or not, who knows? They're not always the most accurate news source. But I wanted to bring it to you anyway because I found it quite interesting as it ties all the links together. And then you make your judgment from there. Okay, so as we go forward, just remember all this stuff I'm fixing to discuss came from the Daily Mail and their possible source. So I'm going to talk about it now. So right after Allen was arrested, one of the neighbors had seen authorities digging in his yard. Well, I have learned they were digging up his cat that had died. The cat's hair ended up being a match to hair found on one of the victims. Sources close to the investigation have claimed that Allen was acting with at least 2 other men and was involved in a ring. I can't really say those out loud. Come to find out, Kagan Klein, who was one of the first suspects that was said to be involved, Klein cut a deal with prosecutors. The search warrant on Allen's home and property were carried out based on Klein's testimony. The source claims that Klein, from whose devices police retrieved a slew of child P, knows Allen and that the men met when both lived in Peru, roughly 40 miles northwest of Delphi. The source also claims that both men knew Ron Logan, whom police first pegged as a suspect in the killings after the girls' bodies were found on his property, some 1,400 feet from his home. An FBI search warrant served on Logan's home and property, dated March 17, 2017, revealed that on February 14th, the day after the killings, Logan asked a relative to provide him with a false alibi. He told a cousin to say that a friend had picked him up and taken him to a fish store between 2 and 2:30 p.m. and that he didn't return home until 5:30 p.m. Logan's alibi was shown to be a lie, and text messages retrieved from his phone showed that he was out of his house and in the vicinity of the murders on the evening of February 13th. The FBI document also noted Logan asked his relatives to lie for him the following morning before the crimes were even discovered. Logan died at the age of 84 on January 24, 2022, and was never named as a suspect. But now sources have told the Daily Mail that Logan, who had a history of violence against women, was involved. According to the source, investigators believe that the plan had been for Allen to kidnap the girls and bring them to Logan's home, where he and allegedly Klein would RAPE them. The girls were supposed to be kidnapped for the SR ring, but something went wrong, and he knifed and RAP'd one of them and almost decapitated the other girl. Logan and Klein never even met the girls. The murder weapon was a knife, and both girls bled out at the crime scene, and it was super bloody. Both girls were killed near the river, but then moved and posed naked under a tree. At the scene of the crime, a cell phone and underwear were missing. It is unclear if it is found in Allen's house. Allen was wearing a GUN on his waistband. The girls could be heard saying the word GUN. Police recovered one, you know what kind, you probably heard, as well as knives at Allen's home. So they found all kinds of weapons there. Allen's wife, Kathy, confirmed that the weapons were his. Forensic testing of an unspent round found near the girls' bodies showed that it had been cycled through Allen's gun. according to the probable cause affidavit. Even though the bullet had never been fired, it bore telltale and unique signs of having been an Allen's weapon. It is unclear why he did that. What I'm thinking, what happened, and I know some about a GUN, is that when he didn't know one was in the chamber, sometimes you can pull them back and then it'll expel it, but you don't think there's one in there, but there is. And maybe he didn't know there was one in the chamber and there happened to be. So it basically, when it went through there, it left track marks on it. So it could tell what GUN it was. His lawyer says he's simply the wrong guy. They have dismissed the probable cause affidavit as flimsy and described the forensics relating to the unspent bullet as junk science. A bond hearing for Allen, who is currently being held without bond, has been set for February 17th, and he is set to go to trial March 20th, 2023. So basically, according to the Daily Mail, all three men are involved in this case. All the three men that people have been wondering about, wondering if they were suspects, were all involved. Could that be true? Could it be all of them? Could it be more suspects than that? Could it be this giant ring of people that was in on this? Is there more people out there that they're not talking about? Like I said, coming from the Daily Mail, I'm not sure how reliable their source is, but everything that is being said totally fits all the puzzle pieces together. Who knows if it is an SR ring? Like I said, it could be additional suspects. I just wanted to know your thoughts on this latest piece of news. And do y'all feel Daily News has a reliable source? I find it kind of weird at this point. No one else is saying anything on this, but all the details do make sense. Just wanted to make sure you guys know I am not sure how reliable this new information is, but thought y'all might want to hear what I had learned. One of my questions is, are there more children out there that is involved in this ring? Also, why, if it was a legit source, would they choose to go to the Daily Mail to get all the information to? I just want to know your thoughts on this. Should we believe the Daily Mail article or not? Whatever the case, it is an interesting article, and I will try to link it below the video if I can figure out how. I want you guys to look at all of it and tell me what y'all think about this article. Like, I haven't heard anybody else discuss about this, so I didn't know whether I should go ahead and put it out there, but I thought, hey, I just want to get y'all's thoughts about it. Do you believe the Daily Mail? Do you believe they have a good source? I don't think they'd come out and tell the world if they didn't feel like they had a pretty reliable source. Well, you guys know I always try to get reliable, trustworthy information for you guys. So I feel bad to even tell you about this before it is even proven, because I'm always good about making sure, as much as I know that things are accurate on my video. I know I make mistakes, and oftentimes I am told about them. So that's why I want to make sure, say up front, I don't know how accurate this is, but interesting, and thought I would just break the news for y'all, and you can take it with a grain of salt, and we'll see what comes out in the future about this. It should be interesting what we can find out. And I want to make sure that it's put out there that this might not be accurate. Don't want to give anything out that's not accurate. Reinforcing that idea there, because I am nothing but respectful to all the victims in my little murder she shed. And I love you guys, and if you'd like to hit that subscribe button and come join us, usually twice weekly, sometimes more. In here a lot. Oh, and by the way, I almost talked to my husband into getting me a rabbit. Oh my God. Well, he took me to Atwood's today. That was a bad mistake, because there was this little fluffy rabbit in there. I'm talking about like extreme fluff. He had fluff hanging on. He looked like a stuffed animal. He was adorable. I was going to call him Harley if I could bring him home. I said, he has my name written on him, to Kevin. Kevin said, but Holly, your dogs will kill him. And I know he's right. They probably would. And I said, well, I'll keep him in my she shed, and I won't let the dogs in there, and all my subscribers can see him, and we'll call him Harley. And Kevin said, no, because if the dogs kill him, your heart is going to be broken. And he knows me. That is true. that would totally break my heart. It would make me mad at my dogs. It would break my heart because of the bunny. But oh, I wanted him so bad. I didn't even think of those things in that moment. But my husband's wise sometimes. But I still want him, and I still want him. I was going to buy him a little cage and build him all this little stuff because he was going to be a spoiled little bunny, but it didn't happen. So I don't have a murder she shed bunny, and I apologize. You can blame it on my husband. But like I said, it's probably for the best. We probably didn't need him. It's true. All right. I just want to end it right now before I keep rattling on like I'm good at. Anyway, love y'all. Bye.
I am much bigger than you ever thought, and I'm listening in to your every thought. I'm a monster. I'm a monster. And my claws are scratching up my face.